4. A dog attack in Bethesda now shocking a quiet neighborhood.
She's screaming help, and another neighbor heard and called animal services.
2 women injured and 2 dogs dead where the investigation stands.
It brings more excitement to the community.
Also, reaction from local leaders and the community with the potential return of the Commanders to Washington.
Rain is moving through this evening, but we'll let you know when this soggy weather could wrap up.
Then, prioritizing safe routes to school in Prince George's County. A committee's recommendations following the deaths of several students.
It's a festival of lights, and we should find the light in the darkness.
And Hanukkah is a week away, and despite security concerns, Jewish groups won't let that dampen the holiday spirit.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
The Washington Commanders could be closer to moving out of Maryland and back to the nation's capital. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
Good afternoon. I'm Annalisa Gale. Congress has now added a provision to transfer control of the RFK Stadium site to the district in its short-term spending bill. But Maryland politicians are still declaring victory. The federal government has promised to fully fund the rebuilding of the Key Bridge. If the spending bill is passed, the bill would also transfer all of DC's Air National Guard fighter jets to Maryland.
And we have team coverage this afternoon from Maryland to the district. DC News Now's Randy Bass joins us in just moments. But let's start with DC News Now's Mariel Carbone, who's at Northeast Stadium or Northwest Stadium is in Northeast
at the RFK Stadium.
The RFK Stadium. Mariel, what's the latest?
Well, Mark, certainly a lot of excitement from district leaders about this. They say it's been years in the making, and for the mayor, this is all about having the ability to determine our own destiny here when it comes to the site behind us. Residents here, they want the same thing to happen, but whether or not that vision includes the Commanders or not is still up for debate.
When is it going to happen? We have been looking at that derelict stadium for years now.
That question by Kingman Park neighbor Julie Plavsic could soon have an answer, with the latest congressional spending plan giving D.C. control over the 177-acre RFK Stadium site.
We just really want to see something happening over there.
Still, what that something should be and if it should include a new stadium for the Washington Commanders is up for debate.
I don't think any of the residents I know want the Commanders to come back. It was a lot of traffic, a lot of litter.
They should come back. It brings more excitement to the community.
Mayor Muriel Bowser saying Wednesday the potential is transformational.
Our vision has always included many uses,
with plans including housing, park space, an indoor sports complex, and yes, a place for the Commanders.
We feel like we have the best site. It is the long-time home for the team, a successful team, the transportation options, connection to the river, the views.
Still, not all district leaders are on board.
I don't think spending hundreds of millions of your tax dollars for a billionaire stadium is the right investment.
Ward 6 council member Charles Allen.
More than 90% of the year, we don't see the same type of return on investment for an NFL stadium.
People will remember that it wasn't a unanimous vote to bring Nationals Park where it is, but nobody regrets having Nationals Park there.
All right, so what happens next? So, of course, Congress needs to approve that funding bill. Then the mayor says it's a matter of tearing down this dilapidated stadium, moving forward, planning their vision, and, of course, her team negotiating with the Commanders for a deal to bring the team here. Any deal, it will need to be voted on and approved by District Council. Reporting live in Northeast tonight, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Mariel, thanks so much. And while Maryland stands to gain quite a bit if that legislation passes, it also now stands to lose the Washington Commanders.
And sources say Maryland Governor Wes Moore signed a memorandum with the team yesterday saying that if the team leaves, the Commanders will pay to knock down the stadium and help rebuild something else there. DC News Now's Randy Bass joins us live from the team's current home in Landover with reaction from fans and lawmakers there. Good afternoon, Randy.
Hey there, good afternoon, Mark and Annalisa. One Maryland lawmaker today said he feels the Commanders have put D.C. and Maryland head-to-head in a fight over where the franchise will call home. But fans we talked to today seem to already have their minds made up. The Commanders have called Landover home for over 25 years.
I don't like it. It just don't feel like home. I don't like it at all.
But Commanders fan Kevin Jones says the team's glory days at RFK are fresh in his mind.
How the stadium used to rock when we score.
And other fans we talked to today also told us they're looking forward to a possible return to the district.
Well, I just think that the team belongs in D.C. I mean, I would love to keep it out here in Maryland and stuff, you know, but I think the team really belongs in D.C. That's where all the history and stuff was.
Touchdown! But the team is making new history this season with new rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels at the helm. Season ticket holders Melissa and Paul Holdren have enjoyed watching it all unfold at Northwest Stadium, but
we've paid more and more each year and seem to have gotten less and less. But
Maryland State Treasurer Derek Davis expressing his frustration over it all during a meeting this morning.
We're all getting caught and lost in the Jaden Daniels and how well they're performing, but they've pitted two regions against each other, two regions that have been traditionally strong allies. I'm glad that we've been able to reach some sort of amicable path forward.
Now, we've reached out to Maryland Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen for comment and received this joint statement in return, saying in part, as the team looks to the future, Maryland continues to make the case for them to stay. In discussions around the RFK legislation, our intent has never been to block the land transfer, but to ensure a fair process and a level playing field. As the Commanders make decisions about their future, it's also critical that the future success of our communities is part of the equation. The two senators saying the Commanders organization has already been participating in what they're calling good faith negotiations with the state of Maryland should the team decide to leave. Live in Landover, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thanks so much. Well, DC News Now will stay on top of how this will all shake out. You can be sure to keep up with our coverage on air and online at dcnewsnow.com.
All right, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matson with the first look at our forecast. Damon, earlier this morning we saw the sun for a bit, then it got cloudy.
Yep, it disappeared pretty quickly as this fast-moving system is going to work through in quick order tonight. Now, it's been a slow go getting the rainfall to arrive across much of the DMV. It stayed dry all throughout the afternoon in northern Virginia, the district, southern Maryland. The rainfall so far has been concentrated up to the north along the I-70 corridor near the Pennsylvania-Maryland line. And now at this point, with temperatures having gone up throughout the afternoon, all we're seeing is rainfall even out toward the mountains. And some of that steadier rain, well, it's already moved through Martinsburg, Hagerstown. We're seeing a little bit of that wet weather across Frederick County in Maryland as well. But if we look down to the south and east, still completely dry in Montgomery, Fairfax counties over toward the district. But this line of rainfall will steadily move east over the next few hours, and we all will be seeing at least a bit of this soggy weather. So things are okay for now, but as we head later on, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that's when a lot of that rain will eventually move through northern Virginia, the district, the I-95 corridor. Something to keep in mind if you're going to be out on those roadways later on or just out and about in general. You'll need the umbrellas and the rain jackets. But by 11 o'clock, just like that, the rain will be wrapping up once again. Are we going to see any additional soggy weather before the week is done? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, new details now on a mass shooting and crash in Baltimore County that left 9 people injured and a 26-year-old man dead. Most of the surviving victims are teens. Shots rang out last night throughout Towson, and shortly after, the 10 people were found inside a crashed flaming SUV outside a funeral home. Officials believe the shooting was targeted and everyone knew each other. They're looking into a possible connection now with the funeral service that was held hours earlier for a 19-year-old who was shot to death earlier this month.
Well, Annalisa, developing now. 2 women injured and 2 dogs are dead after a deadly attack in the Bethesda neighborhood this morning. DC News Now's Kevon Dupree. He covers Montgomery County for us, and he spoke with people who live in the neighborhood.
The dog attack happened on Heather Hill Road. Police say 2 dogs attacked another dog and its owner. The dog that was attacked died. One of the attacking dogs ran away, and the other was shot and killed by police.
This is something I've never seen in the 37 years I've lived in my home. And then when I found out that 2 dogs had gotten in a fight and they're 2 dead dogs, and I was just in a state of shock.
Many neighbors who live on Heather Hill Road in disbelief Wednesday. Natalie West says she knows the person and the dog who were attacked.
A woman who is walking her dog and enjoying her puppy dog all the time, and was innocently doing that today, and then this happened out of the clear blue.
West says the woman screamed for help. Another neighbor heard her cries and called animal services.
I didn't see it happen, but I drove in and my neighbor was going like this, and I did hear a shot, and then I got very nervous.
That shot was from Montgomery County Police, who say they killed the attacking dog after they say it charged toward them. Neighbors say this is surprising because they live in a dog-friendly neighborhood.
We all have dogs. Everyone in this neighborhood is so friendly, and dogs are almost 100% of the time on leash. And so it's shocking to see that something like this occurred, and I just wonder if somebody's dog accidentally escaped or something.
And MCPD officials say the attacking dogs lived in the neighborhood. They say it's unclear if the owner of those dogs was home at the time of the attack. I'm Kevon Dupree, DC News Now.
All right, Kevon, thank you. Meantime, in Prince George's County, the race for the county executive seat now heating up. Today's state's attorney, Aisha Braveboy, announcing that she plans to run for the seat left open by Senator-elect Angela Alsobrooks. Braveboy has served as the county state's attorney since 2019. She made her announcement in front of the county council and other lawmakers in the county there. Now, Braveboy says she believes her experience will take the county to new heights.
We'll stay laser focused on improving this county so that they and their children and their children's children have a place where they can call home and be successful. In every role that I've had, every position I've been able to hold, I just carry that with me.
Now, several others are also running for the county executive seat, including Rashern Baker, at-large council member Calvin Hawkins, and others. The special primary election will be March 4th, with the general election on May 27th.
A heads up, some metro stations will be closing for several days for maintenance starting Friday, December 20th through Thursday, December 26th. And there's no Orange Line service between Clarendon and Federal Triangle, no Blue Line service between Foggy Bottom and downtown Largo, and no Silver Line service between Foggy Bottom and Federal Triangle. Then, from Friday, December 27th through Monday, December 30th, there's no Orange Line service between Clarendon and Federal Center, and then no Blue Line service between Foggy Bottom and downtown Largo, and no Silver Line service between Foggy Bottom and Federal Center. Free shuttles will replace trains. Riders should give themselves extra time.